Welcome back, everyone. This is Thomas Triple T Tie with another new bullish crypto analysis. Before we dig in and take a look at the crypto, Bitcoin, and equities market, remember this is for edutainment only, not to be considered as financial advice. Additionally, when you find value at any time during the video, feel free to smash the like, ring my bell, hit subscribe, and let me know what you're thinking. Appreciate it. Let's dig into the news first. The Consumer Confidence Index climbs to 107.2 from 105.7, and that's the first time this year. So that's fantastic. However, consumers are still anxious about the economic fallout from the war in Ukraine. Well, let's not call it a war. Let's call it an invasion in Ukraine. And they're still uneasy about high inflation. Nifty news from Cointelegraph. Luxury brands join Decentraland's Metaverse Fashion Week. Several high-profile luxury brands such as Dolce & Gabbana puts on the a little catwalk. We got Etro debuts upcoming collection in a runway. We got Italian shoe brands entering Decentraland. So it's interesting that people are really gravitating towards the metaverse, and I think it's going to be huge for the. It'll be another economy, if you will, separate from a regular economy where it's borderless and anyone can open up quote unquote shop in the metaverse. Republique sells luxury items there, and so really cool. They're really cool to see that mainstream brands are taken into the pun intended into the metaverse. The SEC's new proposal to redefine what a dealer is could spell bad news for DeFi, and this was in the news not too long ago. But I think it's there's a recent footnote in the one of their documents that's causing concern, and basically what they're trying to do is when they redefine what a dealer is, in the traditional sense, a dealer is like what we know to be like stock exchanges, etc. But now they're wanting to classify a dealer as like more in the electronic up-to-date version, like with blockchain and all that stuff. The issue is that a decentralized blockchain, it's really difficult to register people and to make it a requirement. Otherwise, they face, like a business could face, or an individual or entity could face felony charges against them for not being able to register people because it's decentralized. That's why it's called decentralized. Could cause some problem for DeFi, and luckily we have some. The crypto industry has some people keeping an eye on this, and a lot of them are in the legal field, so that's helpful. But if once this starts to escalate a little bit more, I'll probably do a full video on it because it is concerning. It could put a stop to DeFi as we know it. Russia promises to scale down operation near Kiev, and North Ukraine. Well, I'm not sure what they mean by scaling down. They haven't made much progress there. They've been stalled and pushed back in some areas. So yeah, sure, scale down. But on the other hand, it's positive news if they can, if they and Ukraine can come up with some kind of peaceful agreement, and also to get the civilians out of there. That would be very helpful because it's pretty bad, especially in some areas like Mariupol. So I think they're holding another talk today to work out some details. I really don't see what the details are. Get out of our country. I don't know. Let's see. Treasury yields decline with jobs data. Russia-Ukraine negotiation in focus. What's interesting about the job data, not the job data, the treasury yields is this: the 5 versus the 30-year yield. It did an inversion for the first time. I think it was 2 days ago, or is it a day ago? And what that inversion is usually means is that it's called every recession. So whenever that happens, a recession follows, and it's been a pretty consistent recession indicator. However, the 2-year versus the 10-year, that one is not inverting. So there's mixed signals there, and that's something we want to keep an eye on. But if the 5 and the 5 and 30-year inverted on Monday, and the 2 and the 10 has not inverted yet. So when that also inverts, that could spell trouble. But currently the 2 and the 10-year treasuries are remaining positive now. So we'll see. Russia gas supply to Europe is at risk of being halted because Russia has demanded the European countries pay their for the Russian natural gas in ruble, which is against the agreed upon contract. And the G7, the countries over there in Europe, have said, no, thank you. We're not going to do that. And so we'll see what happens if Russia going to stop it, or they're going to continue with the flow of gas to Europe. That is one of the main sources of income. So it'll be interesting if they're going to stop it. Institution crypto funds see the largest capital inflows for 3 months, according to Cointelegraph. So there's more money going into coming from institutions into the various entities like CoinShare Data review on Tuesday that institutional investments into cryptocurrencies are at the highest level in months, a sharp rise from the previous week. So whenever we see inflows from institutions, that means that they're getting ready to buy, and so that's could also contributed to the recent price increase in especially Solana and Bitcoin. Gold is now entities in gold are looking at blockchain to help them track gold. So it's ironic because they seem to be at odds with each other, gold and crypto. One of the most notable player in the global gold industry, players, that's plural, collaborating with a design scheme to help investors trust whether their gold is genuine and has been responsibly and sustainably sourced, and they're using blockchain to track that. The London Bullion Market Association (BMA) and the World Gold Council (WGC) are developing a new international system for gold bar integrity. So, yeah, interesting. Old gold combining with the new tech to track the how legit their gold is. Okay. I have no problem against gold. I just wouldn't hold it. But it's good for people who want to hold them. Let's see here. Yeah, that's about it for the news. So let's dive into some charts, and let's take a look. Let's go get the mouse highlighter on. Here we have the crypto market, predominantly red, but it's misleading. But let's go through it first. Bitcoin 47.2. It was over 48 last night, and then bounced back down. Dominance is 42.09. Ethereum, 3.4K roughly, but notice the dominance is over 19%. So this is a very interesting number. The dominance keeps climbing. Luna is still up. It hit multiple all-time highs. So it's fantastic for Luna. Its high was over $107. So yay. The rest is is red, but remember, they rally yesterday. They rally on Sunday, so it's natural to have a pullback, and some of these pullback is not that much. ADA unfortunately fell below $1.20, which is a critical level for ADA, but it's still 118. Compared to 78 cents not too long ago. So it's mixed here, but the red can be deceiving here, given its recent weekend rally. Let's take a look at the equities heat map here. I'm just going to go through section by section here. Technology, pretty green here. We got some spots of bright greens and some spots of muted green. Communication services, again, similar, pretty green. Consumer silico here, overall pretty bright green, except for Amazon and Tesla. But remember, they had recently had some pump. So consumer defensive, pretty green, muted green. Financials, they had a recent pump here, so they're muted right now. We got credit services and asset management are pretty bright green though. So healthcare, pretty muted up in this area, but diagnostic and research and biotechnology, they're pretty green. Industrials, it's somewhat green and some spots of bright greens here, some muted red. Real estate, very bright green here. So energy, it's really red, blood red here. Basic materials, kind of mixed, depending which area. So overall, pretty decent day for the market. Let's take a look at what it says here on the chart, trading view chart here. So but before we do that, let me get a chart here so I can actually see it, because there's a bright light here. Okay, so let's go through the watch list first. So we got SPX, Nasdaq, and the Dow indexes. They're all slightly up. The Nasdaq's up more than the other one. So SPX 0.63 up. We got Nasdaq 1.05 up. We got DJI 0.038 up. So cool. VIX volatility index dove below 20, and so the equities market's pretty stable. DXDY, we got 98.51 there, and that's down within the last 24 hours. We got U.S. 10-year yield rate 2. What is that? 2.2. So bright. 2. Hang on. 2.39. So, and that's down 2.69 or so within the last 24 hours. U.S. oil is below 110, so yay. But that's up within the last 24 hours. It's currently at 104 point some change. Gold is down. It's at 1915, down negative 0.3. Silver's also down. As far as the euro paired with the dollar, that's up, and so that means the euro is stronger. The pound paired with the dollar is down, and that means that the dollar is stronger. The dollar versus the yen, that's down, so that the dollar is weaker than the yen there. So that's over here. So let's dive into and look at the trends. You can see here Bitcoin yesterday, kind of choppy most of the day after hitting a peak up in this area. And then starting when the market opened today, it dipped down. You can see here all three indexes opened higher than the previous day's close. However, they're kind of like choppy, tiny little movement, choppy sideways for the Nasdaq and S&P 500 index here. The Dow is open higher than yesterday's close, but it dropped. So Nasdaq and S&P 500 correlation with Bitcoin, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Bitcoin dropped here, and they're kind of choppy. So positive correlation, nah. However, with the Dixie here, Dixie at look, it did this giant slide down yesterday as Bitcoin somewhat rose. So, and then today at after market opening, the Dixie went up as Bitcoin dropped. So negative correlation with Bitcoin and Dixie is back. And so let's go to the US 10-year yield here. Yesterday, somewhat choppy sideways, went up towards the end of the day. And then at market opening, it started to drop here. Let's go over to the European markets here. We got UK 100. Went up yesterday and then dropped around US market opening here. The DAX from Germany same thing, went up yesterday. At US market opening, it dropped slightly. Similar thing with CAC from France. Stock 600, similar things here. Over in Australia, we got them open up just slightly above where they closed yesterday. But they have a nice average incline here in the last 7 days. The Nikkei 225 opened up slightly above closing yesterday. Kind of choppy, but trended up towards the end of their session. Similarly with the KOSPI from South Korea. Hang Seng HSI, similar thing. Opened higher than closing the previous day, last session. Kind of choppy, slightly up. But the CSI 300 from Shanghai, Shenzhen, they opened higher than the previous period, but then it collapsed during their recent day. But their trend is very different than the rest of the Asian markets here. It's a downward trend, and no surprise there. They have they're going through COVID lockdown right now and testing in Shanghai and various other parts, so that's not a surprise there. So overall, what does this look like? It looks like we have a slight recovery from yesterday across various different markets across the world, but it's not strong recovery. It's slight recovery, and positive negative correlation with between Bitcoin, positive correlation with Bitcoin and Nasdaq and S&P 500. It's not really there. But negative correlation with the Dixie and Bitcoin is there. And we'll see what happens with the Ukraine situation and peace talk and all that stuff. And keep an eye open for recession. If the 2 and the 10-year yields invert, that could be a stronger signal combined with the 5 and 30-year signals for a recession. Natural gas to Europe. We'll see what happens if Russia turns it off or continue to demand payments in ruble, which was not part of their contracts. So very bullish. Even though crypto looks red, it's kind of misleading. It's been a bit of a rally since the weekend. So, all right. Now let's see what else. I think that's about it. Yep, that's it. I appreciate your time. I have one more video left to do, and that's the Bitcoin daily analysis. And I'm excited to do that one because Bitcoin's been pushing at the 200-day moving average. I want to find out if it's going to break through it or not. So I'll see you in that video. So feel free to smash the like, ring my bell, hit subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments section. Peace.